What's going on, Bears fans? Nicholas Moreano here alongside my guy Patrick Norton after the Bears lost 19-3 to the New England Patriots.
Yeah, not a team that we expected them to lose to, except for one person.
You did pick them.
I did pick
them,
the Pats.
Patrick.
I did pick the Pats. And that was kind of the vibe coming into today was, would the Bears be able to finally rebound from a couple of heartbreaking losses, or at least one heartbreaking loss, and then just a throttling against the Cardinals last week? And the answer to that is flat out no. The offense could not get moving. The defense kind of held their own. They did their job for the most part. But the offense was just so brutally bad that they never had a chance in this game.
And that's so disappointing because you mentioned it. The heartbreaking loss against Commanders, you get beat down in Arizona, and then coming back to Soldier Field. This was their safe place.
Yeah.
And clearly that couldn't even protect the Bears from what ended up happening on the field today. But again, the offense looked out of sync. There was no rhythm. You had 4 of the original starting 5 offensive linemen out when Tevin Jenkins went out in the second quarter. But still, even despite that, the offense dysfunctional as it has been the last 3 games. And that's where I think going forward, there's these questions about Shane Waldron's job security, Matt Eberflus even. But I don't think that the Bears will end up making a coaching change. They don't do that.
No, history says otherwise. And that's, consider that unfortunate if you want. It's just the way that it is. And this would be a first if they moved on from a head coach in the middle of the season. And I specifically looked back at 2014 when Mark Trestman lost to the Pats 51-23 in Week 8. Their next game was against the Packers, and it was Week 10, Week 10, and they lost 55-14, and they kept their jobs. He and defensive coordinator Mel Tucker kept their jobs for the rest of the year. So, I mean, if you're not going to make a move after then, are you going to make a move now? And obviously it's a different group here now, but history just does not support the idea of moving on from them tomorrow or anytime before the season ends.
And that's the problem with the Bears. It's like when things are bad as they are right now, the offense is in shambles. You have so many playmakers, yet you can't get guys going. But still, I don't see the organization as a whole having the gumption to go out and make that move where you actually make change despite everything that we're seeing on this football field. It's not working offensively. And just being here, Patrick, for this game, people didn't even care when they punted for the 8th time. It was crazy. There weren't any. They didn't have the energy to give boos.
No. When
the defense was facing a 3rd down situation against the Patriots, usually this stadium, which has the greatest fans that will travel anywhere, they didn't even bother to cheer. Because what's the point? You're giving it to an offense that has done nothing all game.
We saw that apathy at the end of the Nagy era.
Yeah.
We're seeing it now. It just kind of feels like we're at the end, but it's also only Week 10. So the Bears are in a tough spot. Tough spot all around.
They're in a tough spot, and next week they host the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
And that I think we all know how that's going to end up for this Chicago Bears team. But, what Cole Kmet was saying in the locker room, they have to stick together. At this point, that's all they have. Try to stick together through these tough times, a 3-game losing streak. But you do have Green Bay next week, and I can only imagine the noise a loss, a really bad loss could create for this team moving forward.
We all silly like the mayor.